quite a few points which are part of the supplementary demands have been raised with questions about why at all such demands will have to be raised by the government if only it looked into these matters in time. This was raised by a few members, particularly on as to why the excess demand for grants pertaining to 2018 and 19 concern of the honorable members, particularly when it comes to the question of utilizing public money. And if there is a delay in coming and seeking approval of the House, it's only natural that members will raise concern about it, the honorable members. I would first of all like to say, although it is coming in for approval for the excess that has been used in 18 and 19, there has not been any delay in coming here. It is, of course, related to 2018-19. But why has it come now here? It has come here for regularizing the excess spending of that year, and the need for regularizing it arises because the PAC, the Public Accounts Committee of the Lok Sabha, has clearly looked into it and said that we will have to go back to the House for certain heads of expenditure that has been spent in 18-19 in excess of what has been mentioned in the budget. And although it has been picked up, the PAC felt it has to go back to the House to get regularized, in the sense it should be again looked into by the House and then given that regularization and approval. And therefore we brought it. And when did that PAC report come to us? The PAC report suggesting that we regularize this, looking at the excess expenditure of 18 and 19, was submitted on 14th December 2021. And on 14th December 2021, when it was submitted, the time given for us to get the regularization, meaning approval again from the House, was up to June 2022. We are in March 2022. They have given us time to get the regularization done by June 2022 and abiding by regularization step. And that is why that has come. There has not been any delay. And from December, we have immediately taken and therefore come up with this spent at that time. And if we can very quickly highlight the point, I would strongly believe that the members would appreciate as to why those expenditures were incurred and why, after the PAC having had a look at it and felt that it might be better for us to go to the House to have it regularized. The amounts spent were clearly narrated in the papers which have been distributed. I just want to recall that for defense services, 3,841 crores has been taken up for ration, fuel, oil, lubricants, medicals, and many other emergency requirement payment for the HAL. We are talking about 18-19, sir. I'm sure the honorable members will recall the circumstances in which these expenditure would have been incurred. For statutory and customs duties for critical ammunitions which were being brought in, imported stores, replenishment of and procurement of airborne and ground weapon armaments, and so on. So these were not expenditures which were incurred otherwise, but very essential, and therefore it has been brought in. Again, capital outlay for defense services has taken 1,257 crores. And where did they go? Allocation made at the B stage was insufficient, and therefore we had to spend more. Advanced light helicopter approvals were given by the CCS. Strike-off of wastage happened at the component levels for repair for T-90 tanks which came from Russia, and also progress of Rohtang Tunnel CSG roads which were built at that time, critical for connectivity, and some of the work progress which happened at that time happened faster than we thought, such as vehicle procurement cases, National War Museum and Memorial, obligatory contractual payments for shipbuilding contracts and so on. So none of these expenditure could have just been met with what amounts were given in the BE. They had to be spent and later included. Therefore, when it came to PAC, they wanted to go back to the House, and that's where this is seen. So, the supplementary demand for grants otherwise, except for the excess grant about which I've explained, are also aspects which are very important for us to appreciate for a moment. Several members spoke, and I distinctly recall Honorable Member Fawzia Khan also saying we need to have a lot more, human touch in the infrastructure is important. We need to spend. We also need to have greater inclusivity in the budgets and so on. Just look at the